Gianluigi Buffon leads Juventus protests against Michael Oliver's penalty decision at the Bernabeu. Photo by David Ramos, Getty Images. Magee one day Thursday, April 12, 2018 when Michael Oliver awarded a penalty against Juventus in the last minute of stoppage time at the Bernabeu, this after an incredible fightback from the Bianconeri which saw them go from 3-0 down to 3-3 on aggregate against Real Madrid. The overwhelming feeling was one of bitter disappointment. After 90 minutes of rip-roaring entertainment, for the game to end in such an arbitrary fashion felt deflating. Where fans had been mentally preparing for a frenetic period of extra time and possible penalties, instead they were faced with a game abruptly ended by an emphatic spot kick from Cristiano Ronaldo. Read more. Was Leroy Sane offside against Liverpool? The disallowed goal explained. Of course, it was not Oliver's prerogative to ensure that the evening's entertainment went on indefinitely. Nor was it his job to keep Gianluigi Buffon on the field, with the legendary goalkeeper's furious reaction to the penalty call ultimately going far beyond what the referee could be expected to tolerate. Juventus go 3 goals up. Fearful face. Vasquez wins a last-minute penalty as Buffon goes berserk. Angry Ronaldo scores the tie-winning goal. Soccer ball. If one passage of play sums up just how crazy the Champions League has been this season, it's this down. Fingerpick.twitter.com/4e7dksmoeo. Football on BT Sport, at BT Sport Football, April 11, 2018. That said, Buffon's anger at the decision to whistle for Magee Benadia's last-ditch challenge on Lucas Vasquez was perhaps understandable. Not only did it annihilate Buffon's last chance of winning the Champions League before his retirement this summer, it was also a contentious call over what many felt was an ambiguous incident. Here's what fans, pundits and Buffon himself have said about the defining moment of the game. Rubbish bin for a heart. Buffon didn't hold back when asked about Oliver after the match. To award such a doubtful, or super doubtful, penalty just ahead of the final whistle and destroy the work of a team who gave absolutely everything, you have to have a rubbish bin instead of your heart. Buffon said, a human being cannot decide the elimination of a team with such a decision. When I don't feel I'm good enough, I put myself in a corner. He should do the same. It's a matter of sensibility. It means you don't know where you are, which teams are playing, you don't know shit. 2 tight defeats are not the end of the world for Manchester City. You need to be prepared for a game like this, Buffon went on. You have to watch the first leg and see that a similar foul was not punished with a penalty for Juventus in Turin. And especially you need personality to referee a game like this. If you don't have personality, you better watch the game from the stands with your wife and your kids while eating chips. What did I say to him while I was protesting? I could say everything in that moment, because when you take such a decision in a certain moment of the game, it means you don't know what sport is. We had done something which seemed impossible. It's a pity it ended like this, unjustly. It was 1/10 of a penalty. But life goes on. Referees against Italian clubs. Juventus president Andrea Agnelli was similarly robust in his post-match comments, suggesting that Champions League referees are unsympathetic towards clubs from Italy. We absolutely need VAR in the Champions League, Agnelli told Mediaset Premium. This isn't about 1 or 2 points, but rather going forward in a massive tournament that brings so much money and prestige, we can't allow these incidents to occur. Everything you need to know about the Champions League semi-final draw. For some reason, the vanity of the refereeing designator, UEFA's Pierluigi Collina, is trying to scientifically prove he is unbiased and keeps assigning referees who are against Italian clubs. It was a penalty. That was, unsurprisingly, the view espoused by Marca, the Spanish daily newspaper which is highly sympathetic to Real Madrid. Meanwhile, Sport, a publication which has a comparable relationship with Barcelona, ran with the headline, "The Robbery of the Century," and added, "The referee invented a non-existent penalty so that Real Madrid could go through to the semi-finals." On a more level-headed note, BT Sport commentator Ian Dark tweeted, "Sending off Buffon is like shooting Bambi. Real got very lucky. Very soft pen. Michael Oliver is a good ref but got that wrong. Big call." Pep Guardiola says he did not insult referee after Man City knocked out of Champions League on Twitter. Opinion seemed split down the middle over whether the penalty was a reasonable decision or an error. One fan tweeted, "Horrible to see Juventus go out like that, but 100% a penalty. Michael Oliver deserves praise for such a massive call." Another wrote, "It's no wonder there aren't any English referees at the World Cup. Refereeing is impossible." Journalists were similarly divided over the decision. Sports writer Johnny Singer tweeted, "On reflection, Michael Oliver is the perfect example of why refereeing is impossible. That decision is debatable. Give it, and you have no heart. Don't, and you have not bottle. He gets abused, and held up as an example of bad refereeing, whichever decision he makes. Greg Johnson of Football London wrote, soft or not, it is a penalty. Refs get all the abuse about bottling decisions in the big games. Not Michael Oliver tonight. For the Pen and for Buffon, 5 things we learned as Liverpool dumped Manchester City out of the Champions League Copa 90 presenter Eli Mangum felt differently. Honestly, how can such a tie be decided on such a contentious decision, he tweeted. When he blows that whistle it has to be Stonewall. Gigi's dream final CL over thanks to a Real Madrid last-second penalty. Pathetic. Likewise, Emma Sanders of the BBC made the fair observation, Michael Oliver won't be booking a holiday to Italy anytime soon, that's for sure. Ex-referees weigh in. Meanwhile, in his column for the Daily Mail, Graham Poll backed Michael Oliver over the decision and praised his very strong but correct refereeing at the Bernabeu. Oliver was courageous enough to award a penalty which, once converted, took Real Madrid through to the semi-final. Poll wrote, adding that the decision to send off Buffon was also correct given his aggressive protests. Pep Guardiola overwhelmed by the injustice of it all as Liverpool down Manchester City yet again. Even referees were divided over the penalty call, however. Former La Liga referee Eduardo Iturralde told Spanish tabloid AS the contact from behind wasn't enough. He shouldn't have blown for a penalty. Ultimately, when even ex-referees can't decide, the decision is bound to be debated ad infinitum. Still, when the incident is that ambiguous, no wonder so many felt it was a disappointing way to end an incredible Champions League tie. iNews https://inews.co.uk